Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches and with Beyond the Chart, and we are going to take a look at this is an update on four semiconductor stocks: Adobe, Micron Technologies, NXP Technologies, and Sandisk. So we're going to start off here with Adobe. All right, we've talked about Adobe before because I had a trade idea in it. We had puts, we made money in this nice move down here. I hit the double top target that it had. It actually got support that came in right in here. It had this dotted line drawn. And so this was a nice play for us. So now what is this doing? It's had this pretty big bounce back here. And let me take a look at the volume. Okay. So this is the thing I'm seeing with all of these stocks, and all four of these stocks today, and probably a whole bunch more I'm wondering about with this bounce back that we've gotten. This bounce back looks like it's bouncing back on lower volume, and look at this. I mean, today's volume on this move, so it was up a little over $1 today, and the volume today was 1.38 million, and that is the lowest volume day. Let's see. You got to go quite a ways back. Lowest volume day since September 8th. Okay. So this whole move, and you can see the trend line in here, this makes me very suspicious. I'll be watching for a rollover and a close below this 10 and see if we get a resumption and test back down to the low. Now here's the we got a little bit of divergence that showed up. Bullish divergence here on the RSI, but I believe that was the only one. It didn't show up on DI minus and DI plus. It did not show up in the demand index. Demand index right back at neutral. So we're going to watch this real close for possible rollover. All right, the next one is Micron Technologies, and we're going to take a look, similar type thing. Look at the volume over the last 2 weeks on this move, and let me see what else I've noticed about this. We had kind of a double top up here. It almost looks like I thought about it, and you could almost make the case that it is a double top between these two tops. It's probably deep enough. It's at least 15% down. Now, it did not achieve the target of a double top move down here yet. It's bounced back up. So I don't know. It's not quite as clear. Let me back out of this. Okay, that trend line is a short-term trend line. Let me look at the weekly average because we haven't really spent any time on Micron Technology before. Okay, from a weekly basis, I think the biggest thing is there's this long-term trend line from late 2012, so almost 2 years, almost exactly 2 years, October 2012. And that trend line has been broken pretty substantially. So that's the first time. Now, when you break a trend line like this, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go into a precipitous fall. By any means. A lot of times, you'll get a break and then it'll consolidate sideways and then it'll decide what it's going to do, whether it's going to continue back up or roll over. So right now we're just watching the fact that it did break down. Where is it going to get support? I mean, here's a previous around 25 is kind of a previous weekly high close around 25, and then sell-off supports are down around 21. So we'll see what happens. Let's go back to the daily chart. Right now, it's gotten support right here at the 233-day moving average. My moving averages are Fibonacci related. So I have 233, 55, and 21, and these are all simple. And then I have a 10-day exponential that it's kind of my trigger line. So looking at this, it came down, got a little support in this congested area and at the 233-day moving average. It's bounced back up and bounced up on declining volume, very substantial declining volume. The RSI is back here almost looking like it's trying to do a little M top right in the middle of the range, right at the 50. DI minus is still greater than DI plus, and the demand index is negative. So I will be, again, here's another one to be watching to see if it rolls back over, it comes back down. Now, did it have divergence? I don't think, no divergence there. No divergence there. And no, so there was no bullish divergence on any of those three indicators that I use. Okay, the next one we're going to take a look at is NXP Semiconductors. I may have misquoted that initially. NXP, I may have said technology, but it's semiconductors. Let's take a look at the daily chart. A similar type thing. You can see the volume drop off. It's not quite as dramatic. Again, they all had this one day, I guess that was yesterday, kind of spike in volume when we had to move down. Again, the rollover. Let's take a look at the indicators real quick. No divergence, bullish divergence at the bottom. Nothing here, and the same thing on DI minus, DI plus, and you still have DI minus in charge, and the demand index is still negative, and no bullish divergence. So again, you know, we've had a very strong rally over the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 days here. Very strong rally. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, see if that's telling us anything. I think the biggest thing here was that, of course, this stock's been trading only since 2010. This trend line, so potential support, we come down here, it could potentially get support on this trend line, which is going to be down in the mid to upper 40s, depending on if it comes down that far. The 55-week moving average is right, it came off of that. So we'll have to watch this and see. I mean, it's... you know, again, we talked about this break below this low here, which is, let's go back to that. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. I think I was doing that with a double top on the other one. Oh, I know what I'd seen here. This is where we'd have like a channel. Okay, so this had been trading in a channel since basically March, April. Okay, and we got a little bit of a throw over here in early September, and then we roll back down and smash right down out of the channel. And what we've done is pop back up and pull back up to the channel. So again, just like in the other two, we're going to be watching to see, do we roll back down over? Got the 21 breaking below the 55, the 10, although the 10 is rising in here. So a little bit of mixed signals. So we're going to watch and see what happens. No particular opinion in terms of taking a position at this time on any of these. I think in terms of a potential setup, the first two were more attractive than NXP. So let's take a look at Sandisk. Okay, Sandisk has got this, what almost looks like a double top. And I also think of this, there's like a 1, 2, 3 pattern almost. I don't know what you call it, or a descending triangle, but the only problem is we don't have that fourth point. You know, it's like this came down and then bounced around through this. Get rid of that. So now it's pulled back up. Let's take a look at this one. DI, the demand index, hasn't even come back to neutral. It's still in negative territory. And again, no bullish divergence showing up. Same thing with DI minus, DI plus on the directional index. The RSI, there was no, I mean, here is the lows. We didn't get any divergence in here, and it's pulled back up to the, where is it closing at 48.7, so almost to 50. And it gotten pretty deep. So 21.6. So a lot of times, if you get into a downward movement, the initial thrust would go down to 20 to 25, and sometimes even lower, and the bounce backs will take you to 50 to 65 kind of thing. So you get in that range where you're in that 20 to 65 range, versus when you're in bull mode, you're in the 85 to 40 range. It's like you're in the upper end of the spectrum and you're in the lower end of the spectrum. So we'll watch to see if that plays out, and then look at the volume again. Pretty dramatic drop off. And let me blow that up a little bit, make that a little clearer. And again, extremely low volume day today relative to the other days. 2.7 million shares, and Okay, so since October 3rd, so it's the lowest volume day today. And of course, it was a doji pause type bar. So again, we'll be watching to see, does this roll back over, or does it continue to push back up and try to get back up through that? That's gonna, I got a feeling, going to come in and play out like resistance. So it didn't provide a whole lot of support, though. I can tell you, when it came right down through that pretty quickly. See if the weekly, oh yeah, I did want to take a quick look at this. This is kind of interesting. Okay, let's look at all of Sandisk. All right, this is an extremely volatile stock. This is since 1995, maybe the end of 94. Look at the peak here in 2000. Then it bottoms in 2001. Then the peak at the beginning of 2006. And then it drops off here at the end of 2008, bottoms. Okay, so a year and a half, almost 2-year bear market, a 3-year bear market. Now we've had a nice, really nice bull move, went to new highs, breaking back down. If we start to look at the trend lines in here, you can see there were several that were broken, got corrective action, but then rallied back off of support after they corrected. But now this trend line, all the way from the bottom of the financial crisis bottom, it's been hugging that. It created it, and with the retracement back down into mid 2012. Then it hit it again in late 2012. It's been hugging it throughout 2013 into 2014, and now here this month it's substantially broken that trend line. So that's a pretty good break. And again, does this mean that we're going to automatically go into some kind of major collapse? Who knows? I mean, you don't know what the market's going to do. But breaking a trend line doesn't say that that's going to happen. It just means that it's breaking that momentum in that trend line. And so you got to start to watch and see what is happening. Where is it going to get support? That type of thing. I mean, it's not a positive by any means. Okay, let's go back to the daily chart. And so again, this is a very similar type thing. I'll be looking to see. I actually think, again, that Adobe and Micron may be the two best to be looking for a rollover, but this may do it too. And I mean, we're looking at the low that it hit down here was 80.26. So, all right, that's our look at the 4 semiconductor stocks that I'm following right now. And we'll be back tomorrow taking a look at the weekend edition of the market action, look at the last 2 days and on a weekly basis. And then I'll be looking at Expedia, Green Mountain, Lulu, and Whole Foods. All right, everyone, we'll talk to you then. Thanks for stopping in.